Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well. I've been having a really bad case of senior brain lately, and today it was the worst it's ever been. I awakened at 5 a.m. I've been up since 5 a.m., and in my Bonnie Dundee, it's now 3:35 p.m. When I awakened, though, I thought it was Friday. So even though I was aware it was 5 a.m., I thought it was Friday. And I spent most of the morning thinking, I'm going to get a jump on it because I tend to batch cook on Friday. So I have food for Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, and then I don't have to cook again till Monday. So that's what I did. And then I went out to my favorite local shop to get a few items and was talking to the shop owner, and it's realized when I was talking to him that it's not Friday, it's Wednesday. But you know what? It's all good because it just means I got batch cooking done early. And when I came home from the shop, I put everything away into the freezer. And tonight I'm just going to have a grilled bologna and cheese sandwich. So it was raining most of the day, but the rain is now dissipated. It dissipated about 2 hours ago. So it's sunny, dry, but cold. And for those who are like, is she wearing a Christmas sweater and it's not even Halloween? I never think of this as a Christmas sweater. If you look at it, yeah, it's got polar bears on it and trees and snowflakes, but it's you could just think of it as a winter sweater. And I love this sweater because it is so warm, which is why I'm wearing it. Because as we approach the end of October in Dundee, the temperature has dropped. So it remains October. There's 2 days left to October. And it occurred to me yesterday. I forget this every year, even though I've lived in Dundee for decades now. October in, in the UK, not just Dundee, in the UK, October over here is Black History Month. And I've always liked that because, unlike America, where Black History Month falls in February, which is the shortest month, over here it's in October, which is 31 days. And they do a lot for it. So I didn't forget actually that it was Black History Month on subliminal, subconscious level. I realized that, and a lot of the films I have watched this month are Black cinema films that deal with racism and racial and or social injustice. So let me share with you, and they're not in any particular order, okay, what I've watched this month. 1970s, Tick, 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 which you will probably be more familiar with if you were born in America. Stars former football star Jim Brown and George Kennedy and Bernie Casey. And it takes place in the early 60s in a little southern county called Colusa County, and it deals with the first black sheriff in a southern county and the uproar that ensues from that. It's a dual movie for me. It's a daddy movie because my daddy introduced it to all of us, and it's a drive-in movie because he took the whole family to the drive-in to see it. And I have not seen this film since Daddy took us to Miles Drive-In to see it. So I was delighted to rediscover it. It's a really good film, and you should watch it. Second on the list was, and I know people globally have watched this, 1967's In the Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger. Rod Steiger did the original role, and then when they made the movie into a series, Carol O'Connor, who played Archie Bunker, took over the Rod Steiger role. Lee Remick was also in this film as well as the widow of the murdered businessman who told the sheriff, I want that black man on this case. That's who I want. It's a brilliant film, and it's got one of the greatest theme songs sung by, God, who sang it? I think it was Ray Charles. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, hit me up and let me know. I said at the beginning that this was not, based on first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, first favorite, second, but I will say this. The next film on the list that I watch, and I watch this maybe once a month because I love it, is the 1962 To Kill a Mockingbird with Gregory Peck and Brock Peters. I don't know anybody who hasn't seen this movie, so I don't need to say a lot about it other than that I saw it. This is a daddy movie too, and we didn't go to the drive-in to see this. I was young when this came out, and I watched this with him sitting on the living room sofa. And I loved this movie, and I still love this movie. I love the Atticus Finch character's sense of social justice and humanity. The next thing I've watched this month is Native Son, based on the Richard Wright novel. I did not watch the remake, which was recently done. Actually, I watched it, hated it. What I watched was the 1986 original, produced by Oprah Winfrey and starring Oprah Winfrey and Matt Dillon with those soulful eyes of his, and the newcomer Victor Love. Native Son is the story of a poor black boy. He grew up in the projects. This film takes place in Chicago, and he's had to deal with racism all his life, so it makes him suspicious of all white people. His family is on welfare, and this is way back in I don't know, 40s, early 50s, and in order to get the welfare benefits, he has to get a job. So he gets a job as a chauffeur to a very rich white family with a daughter who has a social conscience, and she's dating a boyfriend. She has a boyfriend who's a socialist, and they try their best to make friends with this young man whose name is Bigger Thomas. But because of the racism that has encompassed him all his life, he doesn't trust them. And he ends up in a situation where he accidentally kills the daughter of his employer. If you've never seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you. It's not that long a film, maybe 90, 95 minutes. I highly recommend you watch it. Or if you don't want to watch it, if you'd rather read the book is called Native Son, and it's by Richard Wright. Following that, the next film I watched for this month, Black History Month, and I don't know why I watched it. This film is greatly disturbing to me. Was 1988's Mississippi Burning with Gene Hackman, the very scary Willem Dafoe. No matter what he's in, dude just scares me. Even though he was playing, a good guy in this film, it's just the way, something about the way he looks. Dude scares me. And one of my favorite female actresses, Frances McDormand, who just shines in whatever she does. And I like her because she's not Hollywood beautiful. She's just talented and normal looking. So I don't think I need to go into Mississippi Burning too much, because you probably know the whole horrid story. And I don't even know why I watch it at least once a year, unless it's for Gene Hackman's stellar performance, because I love Gene Hackman. Another film that I watched this month, and I watched this specifically as a woman of color, a Black American woman, who has dated a lot of white men, was Loving, made in 2016, and it tells the story of Richard and Mildred Loving, who got married in Virginia during the 1950s. Virginia was, Mildred was Black and Richard was white, and they married each other during a time when interracial marriages were illegal. And then they compounded this crime by having children, and they were both thrown in jail. It does have a happy ending, They get out of jail, they take this whole thing to court, Love is love, like my gay friends say, but really, basically, you can't help who you fall in love with. And in 1967, a historic Supreme Court decision was handing down that said you couldn't, prosecute people anymore in an interracial relationship or a marriage. This is a movie that was nominated for 2 Oscars, didn't get either one, but it should have. And you know who did it. My boy Spike Lee. He directed it and he had a role in it. And this is Do the Right Thing, made in 1989. It had a magnificent cast. Danny Aiello, Ruby Dee, Ossie Davis, Spike Lee, Bill Nunn, who died earlier this year, John Turturro, and Rosie Perez. I can't think of anybody, I don't know anybody who hasn't seen Do the Right Thing. It's such a brilliant film. And Spike, what can I say about Spike? Dude just, he puts shit out there the way it is. If you've not seen it, you should watch it. The next one is an old one, and it's called The Learning Tree, and it's based on the book of the same name. The book was written by Gordon Parks, and the film was directed by Gordon Parks. And this takes place in 1920s Kansas. So think about the 1920s. Think about the social climate in America during the 1920s. And it basically tells the story of a young black boy who not only is dealing with adolescence, his first love, and discovering himself, but he's discovering, racism in the broader sense, what he's going to have to deal with as he approaches manhood. It's a gem of a film. The next one is even older too, and again, this is a daddy movie, something I watched with my dad sitting on the sofa as a child growing up. I must have been 10 or 11 when I watched this. And again, it's the second film on the list with the fabulous Sidney Poitier, Edge of the City, made in 1957, starring Sidney Poitier and John Cassavetes. John Cassavetes always plays these tortured, doomed characters. And he does it very well. He does it in a believable manner. And in this, he plays a stranger arriving on the New York docks, and he's fleeing from something that happened in his hometown. So he's working on the New York docks where one of his co-workers is Sidney Poitier. Unfortunately, their boss, supervisor, line manager, whatever you want to call it, he's a dick. And he picks on John Cassavetes a lot. And Sidney Poitier stands up for the John Cassavetes character. And at first, this character, John's character, is like, why are you being so nice to me? Why you want to be my friend? But with time, Poitier wins over the Cassavetes character, and they become really, really, really good friends. And then the unthinkable happens. If you've never seen it, it's on YouTube. Edge of the City, made in 1957. The last thing I've watched, and I really shouldn't watch it, this film never fails to upset me, but I remain in love with Samuel L. Jackson. And since I've said Samuel L. Jackson, I bet you know what the film is. 1996's A Time to Kill, with Matt McConaughey and Sandra Bullock. I'm not a big Sandra Bullock fan, but I'm a huge Matt McConaughey fan. And I've already told you, I adore Samuel L. So I can't think of anybody else who has not seen this film either. So these are just some of the films, 10 of the films that I've watched this October for Black History Month in the UK. And before anybody asks me, why isn't 12 Years a Slave on this list? I've never been able to finish it. The movie horrified me from the moment they come and take him away as a free man. It does. It makes me physically ill. It makes me cry, and I hit pause. I've never finished it, and I probably never will. So that's a long list of what Kathy has watched lately. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. If stuff is going really, really good for you, new job, new baby, you got engaged, congrats. If stuff sucks for you right now, have faith. Stuff kind of sucks for me at the moment too, but I'm hanging in there. I'm having faith. It will not suck for long. You know, you can only be down for so long before your luck changes. And that's it from your girl. I'm at 145 subscribers now. So thank you to everybody, all my subscribers, all 145 of you. And if you've just stumbled across this channel, subscribe. And that's it. Until my next video, as always, stay safe and live well.